My lighting is all over the place today, guys. I am so sorry for this. It's just, I don't know what's going on today. Hey guys, it's Minnie V and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to be discussing hair porosity, and more importantly we are going to be testing out 3 ways that you can test for your hair porosity. So I'm just going to start off the video by explaining a very basic explanation of what hair porosity is. So basically, hair porosity is just the ability of your hair to hold moisture in. So it's the ability for it to soak up the moisture and to keep the moisture there. And as we know, moisture is so important when it comes to taking care of your hair, and this is why hair porosity is such an important factor when it comes to taking care of your hair. The second thing that I wanted to cover is just the types of hair porosity. This is where things get a bit confusing, and this is where people just, we just blank out at this point, because it gets complicated from here onwards. You get low porosity, normal or medium porosity, and then you get high porosity. So what do these porosities mean, and how do you know which one you fall into, blah 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 blah. So before we go on, I just want to highlight that it is very important to know that your porosity can change. So just like most things in our body, the hair shaft is made up of different layers, right? The most outer layer would be the cuticle, then you get the medulla, and then you get the cortex. So basically the cortex is the center of the hair shaft, and the health of the cortex is overall mostly related to the health of the cuticle. The reason for this is because the cuticle is basically like the wall of the hair shaft. It's the protector. It's there to allow in nutrients that the hair needs, and it's also to block out things that we don't need. Most importantly, we are going to be talking about the cuticle, because the cuticle is what determines our hair porosity overall. So the cuticle is basically made out of sheaths or sheets of protein. Sheets look almost like little doors. Most people will compare it to doors. You will hear that people talk about little doors or shutters. And these protein filaments that are laying on the hair cuticle is laying very flat on low porosity hair. So the role of these protein filaments is to kind of open up when nutrients are about to go in. So this is why when people say that you need to heat up your hair when you have low porosity in order to let the moisture in. When it comes to medium and normal porosity, that is usually a very good place to be with your hair, and that is because the sheets are kind of slightly open. They're not fully open and they're not fully closed, but they're slightly open, which means that they still allow a good enough moisture in and a good amount of nutrients in order to moisturize, nourish your hair to the point that it has had enough. So because of the way that the sheets are laying, they are slightly open, it allows enough in, but it also doesn't allow the moisture to escape as easily. Whereas with low porosity, you struggle to get the moisture in, but once you get it in, there's a good chance that you aren't going to lose it as easily. Then we get to the high porosity. As you can see, the high porosity sheets are wide open, and this is usually where people say, and this is why high porosity is sometimes, or most of the times, associated with damaged hair, because the cuticle is seen as damaged, as the protein sheets have holes in them and they're just like wide open, and they're allowing so much moisture in, but at the same time they are losing moisture at the same rate. When you use chemicals on your hair, the point of using a chemical on your hair is to change the structure of your hair, right? So when you are applying the chemical, what it does is it breaks down those protein sheets in order to enter the cortex, which is where majority of pigment and other important information of the hair shaft is held. So as soon as you break through that protein sheets, think of it like this. For example, my hair is bleached. In order to bleach my hair, the bleach has to be strong enough to break through that protein sheets, and I mean, it literally damages the protein sheet in order to get to the cortex to change the melanin structure to make the hair blonde. So this also explains why when you have a low porosity hair, your hair struggles to take on any color or it struggles to take on any chemical treatment, because the cuticles are so tightly closed that it's not allowing anything to get in. Whilst the high porosity is associated with damaged hair, this isn't necessarily always the case, because at the end of the day, genetics play a big role in what you end up inheriting, you know what I mean? So even though you might have high porosity hair, which is what I assume that I have, I won't necessarily say that my hair is damaged. I think my hair is pretty healthy, considering how much I take care of it and how well it reacts to everything, because I have come up with a good hair regime or a good wash day regime that actually works to my advantage when it comes to the porosity of my hair and the damage of my hair. This is why it's important when you have high porosity hair to add in protein treatments into your regime every once in a while, because you want to replace that protein sheets that are broken or damaged in your cuticle. This is why low porosity hair is normally 99% associated with protein sensitivity, because your cuticle is already packed full of protein and it's shut very tight. You do not need protein. So if you are going to add on too much protein, you are going to get protein overload, and yeah, we don't want that. Now we are going to get into the 3 types of tests that we are going to do in order to test for your hair porosity. So I have already done the first test, which is the float test. Keep in mind that this is a very controversial test, because not everybody agrees with this test, because there are multiple factors that come into play when it comes to determining your hair porosity. And simply just dropping a hair strand into a glass of water does not cut it, which makes sense scientifically. So in order to eliminate all of these barriers or all of these compromises to the test, I have made sure that my hair was washed thoroughly before I removed strands from all over my head. So I took one from the front, from the side, from the right side, from the left side, and from the back, and then I placed them in 4 different glasses. You will see that they are all labeled, and I placed them in the glasses. And what I also did is I dunked them in instead of just dropping them in. So I dunked them in to the point that I knew that each coat was wet, and that they were being, just fully dunked in the glass of water, just to make sure that the surface tension was fully broken. And this is basically the result. As you can see from this video, that my hair sunk to the bottom almost immediately. Okay, I didn't actually get the whole sinking part on video, but my hair sunk immediately to the bottom, guys. No lies. 100% my hair is high porosity according to the float test. And for the second test, I have specifically left this piece out. I've made it, I washed this out, and I have no product on this piece over here, specifically just to test out these last 2 porosity tests. And the second porosity test is the water droplet test. According to, I don't even know who, but according to the laws of porosity, if you have low porosity hair, as soon as you spray your hair, the water droplets will just sit on top of your hair instead of just getting soaked up, which makes sense, right? According to the very first float test, my hair is high porosity, so what should happen is that as soon as I spray it with water, it should get absorbed almost immediately. Do we see any water droplets? Isn't really much water, that if any at all. So my hair basically absorbed it really quickly. The third test that we're going to do is the ridge test. Let's say it's the ridge test, okay? So what it requires you to do is it requires you to take a strand of hair, and also preferably make sure that the strand of hair is also clean. There is no product on it at all, because you want to make sure that you can actually feel ridges if they are. I'm going to just take a strand of hair, and I washed my hands just now just to make sure that there's no product on my hands as well, because I don't want to compromise the taste again. And wow, the sun is just taking me for a joke today, guys. So basically, I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, so you're just going to take the strand and you're going to pull up the strand, and if you feel any ridges, you have high porosity hair. But if it feels smooth, then you have a low porosity hair. To be honest, I feel smooth. Like, this feels smooth to me, and that's kind of conflicting because protein sheets on the cuticle is so small. It's basically microscopic. So if something is microscopic, what are the chances that you are going to be able to feel it with your fingers? I don't buy that one, to be honest. I don't think that one makes logical sense. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you guys got some information. I mean, a lot of information. Let me know if you guys want me to go a bit more in depth, especially when it comes to how to actually take care of the specific porosities. Even though I dropped some little gems in there, I know that some of you guys would like to maybe talk more about how to actually take care of low porosity and how to take care of high porosity, specifically what kind of products work best for you, what kind of oils, what kind of creams, what kind of, you know, all that stuff. So let me know in the comments down below if you want me to do something like that. I'll also have a poll up on my Instagram soon where you guys can decide whether or not I should do it or not. But otherwise, I really once again hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up if you did, and subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.